All right. All right. So now that we're recording, I definitely need my notes back. All right. So we're out the starting gate for the new year. Oh my gosh. Well, the first thing I want to do tonight is celebrate you. So that's super important to me, is that we celebrate you and congratulate all of those. So if you earned a diamond ring, if you finished the court of sales or the court of sharing, or you earned a car or something that you did, okay? So will you do me a favor and just put that in there in the chat section, because I want to make sure. Abbott the monthly SOAR, who did 12 months of SOAR, who did all of those recognition things, please put your name in that chat section. We want to recognize you and celebrate you, because you know, it's a little, I don't want to say anticlimactic, but we all finished and we worked hard until midnight. Some of you at 1 in the morning on Sunday, and then we got up Monday morning, we're like, what, I had all the stuff, now it's zero again. So I just want to say we need to celebrate you. So I want to celebrate everybody, 4-quarter stars, all those things. Okay. So I'm 83 messages behind. Now I'm 96. I give up. I forget. Never mind. Somebody watch how many participants we go up to tonight and take a screenshot of when we get to the highest. Okay. All right. So Jillian Ortega and I have worked hard. You know, she is a master at so many things, and I look to her for so much guidance and wisdom. She has that little heart part of me that she has on me. And so we do a lot of things together, and I just love her and our relationship, and she's brilliant. And I think to learn from brilliant minds is super important. So how many of you are ready for this year? How many of you are ready to have a better year? How many of you are ready to get rid of last year? How many of you are excited about just starting over? And sometimes we need to set the reset button. What was that? Was it Office Max? Somebody had a reset button, but anyway, whatever. All right. So we have compiled tonight, and we have a lot to do, to 10 things that you should think about for the new year to make sure you're at the starting gate. So these are totally in random order, and we'll be going back and forth between Jillian and I on our thoughts and ideas with you on some of these. And then we're going to give away Kate Spade tonight. We have actually 5 Kate Spade items to give away to consultants tonight. So, and by the way, also too, please make sure that you check on the Facebook groups for all of the up and coming events that we do. We've got a packed month. We know it's 4th of July, but we thought we'd start with a bang so that you guys had that. By the way, if you're out on 4th of July this weekend, can I just say, brand yourself, wear a Mary Kay t-shirt and a baseball cap, have a tote bag, have Mary Kay facial sunscreen in there, have mascaras, sell product, be out there. You guys are going to be around a lot of people. Oh my gosh, I just looked at the chat section. I'm not looking anymore. I'm behind by 234 comments. Bye-bye. I'm moving this over here now. Okay. All right. So ask yourself, do you believe you could have done some things differently to get the results you wanted last year? So I want to start with just kind of a reality check of last year versus this year. So write down those things. All right, so here we go. This is the work part, all right? Do you believe you could have done some things differently to get the results you wanted? Write those down. It's important you look at those. You know, I grew up as a retail kid. My father was a district manager in a large corporation, and they always looked at, hey, this is what we did last year, and now what are we going to do this year to improve? I think most of your businesses do those things. So they look at that and they decide what they needed to be tweaked or looked at to have a better year. And it may be nothing, but change is good. Sometimes, you know, how many of you know the song by David Bowie? You know that song, change? Okay, if you don't, I know I'm older, so you just have to handle me. But if you don't know it, text it, you know, go ahead and Google it later, but it's change. Okay. Anyways, just sing it every day, because we do need to change it. So let's talk about a few things. Number 1. Are you ready for number 1? Number 1, fear. Okay. Number 1 is fear. These are the things you have to do. Nothing produces more failure than does fear. The fear of failure freezes you all. Fear freezes people before they even start and causes you not to deal with rejection. Let me say that again. But you know, it's the fear that stops people. So some of you, I'm afraid of being a director. I'm afraid of doing these things. That fear stops it. But how is it that some people somehow manage to get by anyway? What is it that you can do to overcome whatever fear you're facing? You overcome fear with your dreams. And this is where we're going to bring Jillian in here in just a second. You overcome fear with your dreams. The dream is everything. Okay, so the Bible says a man woman, without a dream or vision will perish. That's not good, you guys. If you don't have a dream, you're out of here. Like, see ya. So think about that. That's biblical. The Bible says a man without a dream or vision will perish. The dream is everything. If you have no dreams, you will perish. Dreams are the counterpoint to all fear. And I want you to have a dream so big this year. I want you to want something so incredible. I want you to have a dream that is so spectacular. I want you to dream so big that not reaching your dream is unacceptable. Your dreams will keep pushing you forward and will not allow fear to set in. God is in the make your dream business come true. So what are you dreaming about for you and for your family for this next year? Write it down. Write it down. Write it down right now. Okay, let's hear from my good friend Jillian Ortega. Jillian has a great story to tell you about this. So Jillian, I'm gonna let you take it away, girl.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate everybody. I'm sorry I was making some noise moving things around, but we're having a tornado watch here in Kansas City. Total land. So I was working with that while you all were doing what you're doing. And I'm so proud of all of you, because without the rain, there'd be no rainbow. That's what I'm recognizing tonight as I'm shifting around here, Janice, because I'm determined we're not going to the basement. So I am so proud of you guys because you have shifted and you're here tonight. So when you hit a wall towards your dream, you've got to pivot. Otherwise, all you'll ever see is the wall. So fear and faith cannot occupy the same space. So you're either operating out of faith or you're operating out of fear. And a lot of people say this, fake it to make it. Mary Kay never liked that very much. She said, faith it to make it. Faith it. Have faith, because God has given you faith and he's given you abilities to achieve your dreams. But your why has to make you cry. So whatever your why is, it's got to make you cry. So I want you to be thinking about, what is that why in this brand new year that's going to catapult you to all of your dreams? And Janice wanted me to share with you a little bit about my story. I came to the United States in 1979 and I had a dream. So here's what's so important, you guys, because when I had that dream that was so powerful, there was no way for me to back out. I promised my mother I would go to the United States of America and I would make it happen so that she would never have to feel poor again. So she could have everything she wanted. So the second half of her life would be the best half of her life. And that's what I went about making happen for her. So when you make a decision like that and your why is so anchored into somebody else, how many of you found that you will do something for somebody else faster than you will do it for yourself? And I bet you if I had everybody up on the screen, they'd all go like, yay, that's me. That's how we're wired as women. We will do things for other people quicker than for ourselves. So it's extremely important that we discover what is the why that makes us cry. I didn't have an option. There was no option. So when Janice and I were talking about it, I thought, we were poor for sure growing up, but we didn't have to stay poor. And if you're looking at the word poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. So in Mary Kay, the cool thing is that every new year you get to hit the restart button, like Janice just said, so that you don't have to live in that mentality unless you make a choice to. So I love the fact that when you work for yourself, then you're making a living. But when you work for somebody else, you're what? You're only making a life. Or you are making a life when you have that why that makes you cry. So don't share your big dreams with other people that want to squash it. There are goal gobblers and vision vandalers out there that will squash your dream if you allow them to, but make sure that you don't. I was reading to the directors this morning that stop looking for a discount on your destiny. You're either all in or you're all out. So are you all in for your future and your dreams? I hope so, because what I did, and anytime anything happened to me that was negative as I was building my dream, then I'd always have my mom's picture right there by me, so that would re-anchor me into my why that made me cry. So I had no excuses to not make it happen. And excuses are lies you tell yourself that nobody else believes but you. Because in Mary Kay, you can see people have done it, right? They have proven to us that it is achievable for you to achieve your dream. And that's why I became so successful in Mary Kay's, because others have gone before me. It's not because I was so great. It's because they were so great. And they had the courage, like Janice, because Janice is celebrating what year, Janice? 43. 43 years. And when I retired, I celebrated 30 years with Mary Kay. So women like Janice, they blaze the trail for me. So as far as you having the I Can dream, that's why I'm wearing my USA hat. Plus we're going to the yacht tonight, as long as the tornadoes hop over our house. Then the last 4 letters of America, and I want you to really think about it. ICAN has no T on the end of it. You never will hear somebody saying I can't. So you live in the richest, freest country in the world, and the doors of opportunity are marked push. So nobody's going to open them up for you. Now, Janice makes so much available to you here that, gosh, there's no excuse for not being successful. We didn't have all this when I was building my business. We talked about this morning. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have personal computers. We had nothing, but we had each other, and we had rotary phones. How many of you remember those big rotary phones? So dreams require down payment. So as you're kicking out and starting out of the gate, make sure your vision is clear. Janice has already mentioned that. Without the vision, the people do perish. So get your goal up in front of you. A goal that's clearly defined is a goal that you will clearly attain. And once you decide, you cannot be denied. So I want to leave you with that particular phrase, Janice, because that's a powerful one. Once you decide, you cannot be denied. It's just like anything that we do in life. Anybody can set a goal, right? So a goal isn't a decision. A goal is just a goal. So to decide to do something is to decide not to give up on something, is to decide not to give up on yourself. So when you develop your will, you will embark on your way. So this is your time. This is your season. This is a brand new year. And I used to love the brand new years of Mary Kay seminar year, because it causes you to shift and evaluate what did happen, what didn't happen, what you would like to fine tune, and what you would like to see done better for you and your family for the new year. So many people start in the new year, but very few finish. So I believe that you all are finishers here. Janice has told me all about you. So what's going to be the difference for you to get your dream? Many people have them, few people achieve them. So here are some of the differences. And here's what I've seen over all these years of being in the company. Dedication to your goal, to your dream, dedication to your family, dedication and connectedness constantly to your dream, because I can promise you every day you're going to come up with something, or somebody's going to come up with something negative that's going to try and derail you from your dream. So dedicate yourself to your dream. Perseverance. Perseverance. When you fall down, get back up. And there are going to be those times. Persevere no matter what. Even when somebody buys an eyebrow pencil sharpener at a skincare class, either on Zoom or live or whatever, that person knows other people. So it's all about our perseverance. Gain some contacts from that, and you'll see what will happen. Commitment and tenacity are the traits you will find in those who finish well. So back to, again, your why that makes you cry. I'm going to keep harping on that one, Janice. What is the why that makes you cry? Because I know you all know what you're doing, because you've got Janice and she is phenomenal. And how many of you are like, oh my gosh, this is her last year? Her last year. Her last year, you guys. So I'm going to challenge all of you to be history makers and record breakers in this Zoom, so that you can create your own teams and dreams this year. And let's create a movement. I call it the Janice Trude movement, and it's going to be phenomenal. History makers and record breakers. So how many of you are all in? You all in? All in. Raise your hand to yourself, pat yourself on the back, hug yourself.
Jillian, will you do me a favor? When you, the day you got on the ship, the boat, the plane, wherever you came, and you came to America with $20 in your pocket, the fear versus the dream.
Right. Well, you know, fear and faith can't occupy the same space, right? So was there fear? Absolutely. Janice, I'd be lying if I didn't say that.
I mean, how old were you? Tell us, you came over 18 years old. Did you get on?
18.
You came on a plane. You got on a plane.
Came on an airplane, yes, from Cork City, Ireland. I had $20 in my pocket. I came to be an au pair, which is a fancy word for nanny. When I got here to the United States, I was just so incredibly homesick, because I gave up everything, you guys. I gave up all my friends, all my family, every celebration that was going to happen for the rest of my life. And why did I do that? I did that for my mother. My mom was amazing. She was handicapped after her first child, went on to have 5 more of us. She had a stroke on the delivery table with her first one. She went on to have 5 more children. Her tenacity and her perseverance drove me to do something out of this world for her. And that's why I want you to anchor into, why are you achieving greatness in Mary Kay? What is it that's going to help you to continue no matter what happens? Because stuff will happen. Life happens to every single one of us in here, right, Janice? Every single one of us
Well,
in
that's
here.
why I said, I think about the fact that you came over here, and this is what we're talking about tonight, is one of the things for the new year for all of you. Your dream has to be so much bigger than your fear, because
Yeah.
it slashes that, it slays that, it takes that away.
For sure. So if you can just keep the picture clear, it's keeping that picture crystal clear, Janice. That's what happened to me. And, anytime I thought about my mother and I thought about giving up, or I thought about going home, or I thought about quitting, I thought of her, because I knew if I didn't do what I promised her, that her life would never change. And the second half of her life, I'm happy to share with all of you, was the best half of her life. She shared with me and my husband. She spent like about 16 years with us on and off here in the United States. And it was the most miraculous time in her life. And it was very, very special for me to be able to see that. You can't give me enough money for that. You can't. But in Mary Kay, along the way, look at all the things that happened. So mom was able to travel the world with us. She was able to come to the United States. She got a boyfriend in Kansas City. She met him at church. It was so cute. They were in their mid 70s when they met each other, and they were together until they went on into heaven. So it's very, very special.
All right, so that's the first one, and we're going to keep going here. So the first one is fear, and really your dreams have to be that. Okay, the second thing, your workspace. Okay, so let's just all talk about where you work. Okay, this is the second thing. Do you have a quiet place to work, a place where you can concentrate 2 hours quietly, or even 1 hour of uninterrupted time is valuable? Working
Yes.
in a non-chaotic environment. If you work another job, which many of you do, you need to come home to some place, even if it's just for an hour, to concentrate. You will feel so much better getting something done. So you need to find a place where you can actually build your business. That's one thing. And I know Jillian's going to piggyback on this too. I have a spiral binder. I learned this from Rena Tarbett. Y'all may not know who she is, but I had a spiral binder for every month. I still have one. I freak out if I don't have my next month's spiral binder. I run to the, CVS or whatever, but I have a spiral binder and it's for the month, and every page is for the page of the day. So today was Tuesday and I wrote Tuesday on there, but I use one for every month, and each day has a date. I write at the top of it before I go to bed, the 6 most important things to do. It's so funny. My younger son Ryan says, Mom, I wrote my 6 most important things to do list last night. I'm like, oh my God, he's 34. So they do. It's important. You must also have organized systems in place, not scrap paper everywhere. Some of you are in the pilot program. How many of you know what the pilot program is? You have a pile here, a pile there, and a pile here, and a pile there, okay? So we're going to talk about number 3, which is goals, but let's go on to a quiet environment. Jillian, anything you want to say real quickly?
Well, about the office, especially for those on here that have children, Janice, I just want to hit on that real fast, because Vince Jr. was 3.5 when I started Mary Kay, and that was all new for me, having an in-home office. And so the key thing with your children is set a goal for them. So they are your why that make you cry too, because you're wanting to do bigger and better things for them. And along the way, they learn so many lessons from you. I made him his own goal poster. And every time mommy was on the phone and making calls, he would get $1 every time that I was on the phone. And so when I was done with my calls, then I'd give him the $1, and the reward system was huge. So he didn't bother me when I was on the phone. He would just sit by me and play with his toy quietly, or color or whatever, but never complain, because he wanted his $1. And even today, he is a great money manager. He's a great goal setter. And that's another lesson you're teaching them, and also to respect mommy and time management. So you're teaching them 3 things: time management, money management, goal setting, which are not taught in the schools today, you guys. Not taught. Not taught. So huge advantage for your children. And it doesn't matter if they're older, if they're teenagers, they'll probably want more than $1, but that's okay, because you can make that so easily in Mary Kay, selling 1 mascara. It's all good.
All right, we're gonna have to crank through these. I'm looking at the time going, oh my gosh. Okay, you might be asking, okay, what is the next thing? Okay, it's the number three. Number three is goals. And you might be asking, what is the difference between a goal and a dream? Okay, so dreams are like, I see myself on the throne. I see myself in a pink Cadillac. I see, that's a dream, but dreams may not always have a clear plan or specific steps associated with them. But having a dream keeps you in the hope mode, not in the fear mode. So a goal, on the other hand, is specific, measurable, achievable, objective that you set for yourself, often defined with a timeline and actionable steps to reach it. So a goal, like for instance, does your family right now know about your goal for this year, for the new year? Have you let them know that maybe your goal could be tied to a Disney cruise, which they could be totally excited for? What's in it for them? So the goal also needs to be very specific. A goal is very, very, very specific. So it has a start date. A start date would be July 1, yesterday. And an end date would be director by leadership conference to go with us to San Antonio. That would be an end date. So then there's the start date and then the end date. So what is your goal? So you need to think about that. And just having that start and that end goal. Okay, so the goal is what it is, and this is a start date. And a goal is not, I want a bunch of customers. A goal is, I want 100 customers by December 31st. I want 12 new team members by December 31st. Not, I want a bunch of. Okay, number 4. And then I'll bring Jillian back here, but we got to fly through some of these here. Okay.
Keep going. You're doing awesome. I love it.
Right now, you guys, we're all on a level playing field with everyone else today because we're all at 0. I have news for you, 411. We all did. We're at 0. Tomorrow you're gonna wake up and like, oh, it says 0 on my computer. Yes, we are all at 0. So we just need to start over again. We are all going out in the field together, ready to score. But I want to share some things with you. I want you to compete with yourself going into the new year and stay. Jillian and I didn't have this. Stay off the crazy Facebook pages. And I'm not going to mention them, but there's a couple of them. And do not listen or get caught up in the drama. There's a lot of it. I grew up before cell phones and computers. I became a national sales director without a cell phone or computer. Okay. And the only reason you knew what was going on because you went to a local meeting. That's the only way. And today, there's a lot out there. So let's talk about the noise, okay? Is looking at everyone else going to help you get where you need to be? No. Jillian, do you want to say 2 seconds about that?
I absolutely agree with that. I was explaining this morning about the Kansas City Chiefs, because we're in Kansas City. So I was looking at their upcoming training schedule that starts in August. And I was thinking about them correlating that to Mary Kay and how they go over the fundamentals and they continue to do the same thing over and over. And they don't hang with anybody who's not where they want to be. They're always hanging with superstars. And of course, Travis is with Taylor. That's another whole story, right? So another stratosphere. But anyway, I really was thinking about, okay, so what makes them so great? What makes them so great is they do the fundamentals. They don't complain about it. They don't quit. If they get hurt, they get better and they're back at it again. So you can always look at any sport, whether it's football or baseball or any of them. And you learn so much from that. You learn so much. They have a purpose. They're driven by purpose. They're driven by the purpose to win. This year, they want to win a three-peat for the Super Bowl. So, that's an awesome goal. So they're setting goals too. Everybody makes goals to be history makers and record breakers. And I believe that all of you are that.
Okay, perfect. Number 5, are you ready? Now I want you to know this is seriously important. Okay. Like that, all of them are important, but know your strengths and know your weaknesses. Okay. If you are super, super strong at closing a skincare class, but are weak at sharing the Mary Kay opportunity at your skincare classes, parties, events, then work on the part that you are weakest and strengthen that area so that you can have the most amazing year ever. But you cannot procrastinate this one. You cannot say in 3 months from now, I'm going to work on this. If you don't work on it at the starting gate, right now, this is what I believe I need the most help with. I need to understand this. You have kids that go through school. Some of them are great at math. Some of them are bad at math. Some of them are great at English. Ryan, my youngest one, I had to take him to the movie. He didn't want to read the book, so I took him to the movie. Then he got it. Everybody is different. Some people are visual, but you cannot procrastinate this one. You must start this part right away. I want you to right now enroll in the class today to sharpen your skills of whatever that might be. But you've got to know what you're weak and what you're strong in. And you've got to fix that part. Just know that I'm not closing people when I recruit them. Maybe I say too much information. Maybe I give the wrong information. And your director is the greatest sounding board. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't want to talk to her, but she's the one you need to talk to, because you need to find your strengths and weaknesses. Jillian and I work a lot together. She is stronger at some things than I am, and I'm stronger at things than she is. But at the end of the day, we still laugh and have a good time. I think it's really important that you understand those. Okay, number 6. I'll pull you.
Janice, can I mention one quick thing there?
Just jump in.
Okay, as far as knowing your strengths and weaknesses, at the beginning, when I was a brand new consultant trying to figure things out, one of my weaknesses was closing the sale to be the queen of our unit. I wanted to be the queen. So what I chose to do was follow the girl in the unit to a skincare class that was the queen always at her events. And she allowed me to record her, and I just practiced everything that she did, and pretty soon I was the queen. So I knew very clearly that was not my skill set, because I'm a systems operations manager. I program computers. I don't do that kind of thing. So she taught me how to be great. So make sure that you're following the people within your group that are great, who you want to be like. That's the key, who you want to be like.
All right. Okay. Number 6. What are all the goals that you can achieve this year? Because we walk into a year and we're like, okay, so what can I achieve? And I think when you put them all on paper and see where it gets you, okay, so let's just talk about the Power Up Challenge is now 700. And I can go into why and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. It's 700. It's called Power Up. Just deal with it and power up, okay? It's $700 a month. This goal alone will keep you consistent, because at the end of the year, you get this incredible gift from Mary Kay of all of her amazing daily sayings that she did. They're putting this huge spiral thing together for you. I could have a picture of it here for you tonight, but trust me, you do not want to miss it. So 700 is the minimal goal that you're going to want to do out the starting year, because if you miss it, you guys, if you miss 1 month, you miss the whole year. So it keeps you consistent. So let's look at this also too. 825 on a raw figure with no 55% and no double credit this year will bring you to the Princess Court. So if that's your goal, and remember, we're not talking about double credit or 55%. I mean, Jillian and I never had these things. It was like always a raw score. People say, we didn't get double credit this year. I'm like, I never had that my whole entire career. What the heck is that?
Right. No, we did it.
Everybody. All right, so 825 is a different bar than 700, okay? So just know that. So shoot higher. 825, you're selling about 450 a week. Seriously, you guys, if you think about this, if you have one really great party, and I'm not talking one person there, okay? A party is 3 or more, an event, a beauty event, $350 and reorders, seriously, 6 hours a week. That's really what it is. Working 6 hours a week. Star consultant every quarter. That keeps you consistent. And by doing 800, you're a Ruby Star every single quarter. So Queen's Court of Sales. Queen's Court of Sales. Do you want the diamond ring for next year? Do you want to be on stage? Do you want that recognition? Queen's Court of Sharing. My favorite thing is to win the diamond bees. Here's the thing about the Queen's Court of Sharing. Mary Kay said, pass it on. And when you're earning a diamond B in Mary Kay, that means you've touched at least 24 women's lives to come into Mary Kay and change their lives. Adding that, my father said in the very beginning, why do you want to earn a diamond fly? And I said, well, first off, Dad, it's a B. Okay, let's just be clear of what it is. Whatever, it's men. I said, it's a B. And I said, because I get this B, I will be a stronger director, a stronger, team leader and all that, because I was becoming a director. So that's another goal. Being at leadership as a sales director in San Antonio with us, or a seminar as a director, because we still have All In with 8. You guys, 8 people. I don't know how about you, but I needed 12. Hello, people. Back in the day, we had nothing. We had to have 12. What is this 8 thing? So you need to have 8. How about a DIQ? How about being a DIQ by September? which is the cutoff, September. Well, it's a mental cutoff, September, October, November, December, and you're at leadership with us. So September, October, November, you're director, December, 1 year at leadership. Have a goal to be in, you don't even know what it is. I don't know what it is, but I'm going to do it. You text your director, I want to be that DIQ thing by September 1. You need 8 people on your team. I can't imagine you can't find 8 people who hate the jobs, okay, and need extra income. So think about that. A DIQ by March, the first to finish in May 31st. But why wait, you guys? It doesn't take a lot. Everybody is out there. So it's super important that you guys really wrap your heads around all the different goals that you have this year. And maybe you need to sit for a day and just think of that. But always stretch way out, because even if you fall short, you fall someplace. Jillian, do you want to say anything with that?
I think you did a beautiful job of that. And the only thing I would add there is couple that with internal motivation, because internal motivation is the key. External motivation is not very long lasting, but internal motivation is. So these events are great. Seminars are great. All of that is great. But take the information that you're learning and internalize it as you're listening to it today and then after the call. So definitely internalize it, because what you do each morning to motivate yourself and to get going with this information is going to take you far. Like what you said, Janice, you've already laid that out.
And Jillian's made a great point. Okay, so I know some of you are on here and you haven't registered for seminar because you haven't really quite connected all that. And I just want to say, I want to give a last ditch effort, because you can register on site and it just costs you, I don't know, 20 bucks more, whatever. It's 2 times through Starbucks. Get over it. But you need to go. I've been 43 years married. This is my 42nd seminar. I've never missed. And
Me either.
yeah, I can tell you this much. If 3 days can potentially change your financial situation the rest of your life, not this seminar, but next seminar, I'll pick up my $6 million plaque. I'm at 5.9, something annoying like that right now. But anyway, $6 million that I have made in Mary Kay, and another $2 million in retirement, because I had FOMO. All my girlfriends were going to seminar and I didn't want to miss out. All my friends were going. I said, why would anybody want to go to Dallas in July? It's hot. Now I live here, Lord. So, I mean, I forgot about air conditioning. So when your friends tell you, why would you want to go there? Say, well, because all the limousines have air conditioning and so does the convention center. So I won't even feel the heat. But I just want you to know that if you have not registered for seminar, just go. You guys go. You need to go. You cannot miss it. It's a plane ticket. If there's if something happened in your family tomorrow and you had a family crisis, you'd get on a plane. But 3 days, if it could change your financial situation, you need to go. My lecture there. Okay, number 7, break down your goal with your director. Okay, she wants you to achieve, and you want an end date, negotiable date, and a monthly and a weekly. You need to have accountability. So you need to do that. So number 7 and 8 together are connecting with your director, having her map out a plan. And I'm not talking about in 10 days from now. I'm talking about the next 48 hours. Because if your mental mind is not out the starting gate and you are not out the starting gate. So here's how my mental mind works. I'm going to a 4th of July party. I'm not, but if I was, okay. I have 25 family members with me. I have a tote bag. It's full of mascaras and it's full of hand creams and it's full of whatever else I want to sell and sunscreens. And I'm wearing my Mary Kay t-shirt or baseball cap with me. And somebody's going to say, oh, are you in Mary Kay? Oh, yes, I have a tote bag. What would you like? But you guys, that's how my mind works, because if you want to be at the starting gate, you have to have that mental move. So 7 and 8 are connecting with your director and having her map out those goals. Those are super important. I used to talk to my national because my director was not around. I used to talk to my national 3 or 4 times a week, sometimes a day. So that, it's so funny. People say, well, I don't want to bother you. That's what our job is. Your director's job is to help you. So when you don't connect with her, it's going to happen when you have team members. Why don't my team members want to connect with me? Well, you don't connect with me. That's probably why you're connected, So you really need to stay very focused, and she will keep you focused. I know I always say this thing, Jillian, you're going to die. I don't know if I ever said it in front of you, but go to the pet store tomorrow and buy one of those plastic dog cones that go around your head and, dog's head. Because the reason they go around the dog's head And it's there because they can only look one way. They can't look up, down, or sideways. They can only look straight ahead. Sorry, Jillian. So there you go. That's your new goal poster. Actually, I've had consultants and directors do decorations on theirs, but I stayed to my national. I bounced ideas off her. She was my sounding board, and many times a voice of reason. And there were times I hung up. I thought that was the dumbest idea in the world, but I did it. Jillian, what would you like to say about connecting?
I'm just watching the chat and Nancy saying, get your cone on. I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys are so fun. I mean, you gotta have fun. This business is fun. I love that you all have fun. I would say, again, just put the vision in front of you, affirmation. If you don't have an affirmation, I would consider writing an affirmation. Mine
Did
was
you connect with Zena Brock?
I did. How did I?
Yeah, every day.
Oh, every day. And it was by rotary phone. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have personal computers, and we didn't have caller ID. So when she called, I always had to pick up the phone. So she taught me affirmation, and this affirmation was so good. And you know what? I remember it today. And she said, you got to get that affirmation up, because back in those days, $300 weeks were fantastic. $300 classes, I should say, were great. $1,000 weeks, that was her goal. So it went like this, you guys. I'm going to have to say it fast because we're going to run out of time. I'm enjoying holding at least 3 skincare classes a week with at least $1,000 in sales. I'm using the 4-point recruiting plan at each skincare class, resulting in 3 brand new business associates per month and earning the use of my fire engine red Pontiac Grand Am. See, I still remember it. That was like 30 years ago. I'm like, crazy, isn't it? But affirmations work. It's in your reticular activator. If you want to get real technical, your reticular activator in your brain will activate once you make an affirmation, and you will be drawn towards what it is that you're thinking. Think about it like with the cars that the company is offering you. And I would suggest you all get a car, because we've had how many cars, Janice, between us? A lot.
23.
Yes. So my husband's thinking about getting a new car. So all he's seeing on the road, like when we're driving today, is the car that he wants. And I'm like, your reticular activator is activated. So you're going to be seeing the car you want. And it's kind of exciting stuff. So I dare you to scare you and do it. Write the affirmation, watch what's going to happen. It's pretty darn powerful stuff. Be too dumb to doubt, because I almost bucked it, Janice. I almost bucked my director and said, I'm not going to do that. That is just so stupid. And then she had me record it on a tape recorder, cassette. And we got a pillow speaker from Radio Shack. Now, you all have fancy ways of doing it today. You can do it on your phone and have it repeat, and loop. But we did it the archaic way. It feels like the dinosaur era that we built our business, but we did fine, right?
That's right. All right, number 9, you guys ready? And I just have to tell you this. This is super important. Number 9, and Jillian will tell you, and I did it. We never missed meetings, because back in the day, if you didn't go, you didn't know. I mean, today it's like, never miss a meeting. Those who show up, go up. You need to be on the meeting for you to show respect for your director, to show your team members. Plus, when you become a director, you're going to go, why aren't they at my meeting? Well, you never went. So you want your team to show up and have your face on. Okay, so let's just talk about this. If you're meeting live, then go. If you guys are going to be sales directors, I'm talking about the ones on here who are really going to do something. Go to your meeting, look sugar sharp. Don't look like the cat dragged in, the dog dragged in, okay? If you're on virtual, have your face on. Do not be eating, sleeping, cooking, ironing. You all know what I'm talking about, okay? I'm telling you, Lupita, who's the #1 Latina national. Oh my gosh, she's hilarious. She says, if they're on my meeting and if their face is not on in 3 minutes, I just have my admin just takes them out. It just throws them out of my meeting. So I'm like, okay. But you guys, really, the way you want to build is professional. I want you to be on your meeting. If your meeting starts at 7, be on time. You don't need to be driving. Go sit someplace. You don't need to be sucking on a Starbucks. Sorry, I'm getting like rude. I mean, I've seen it all since the pandemic. And you know what? Every Tuesday night, I show up. I put my national jacket on. Am I hot? Yes. Do I have shorts on? Possibly. But I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because that's what we're doing. And if you command respect for your people, they'll respect you too. So for #1, if your director is local to you, go to the meeting, be on time. Wear your red jacket, wear a black skirt, wear whatever you're supposed to wear. I don't care if it's hot, take a fan with you or something, you know, but the virtual world has made people lazy. You know, I mean, we're laying down, sit up, watch the meeting, have your face on, have a smile. People want to see your face. They want to engage with you. You know, don't be cooking. You can cook later. You didn't cook with, it's so funny. We never did these things when you went to a live meeting. You didn't cook on your way. You went to the live meeting, you sat there, you cheered people on, and then you went home. And actually, it's a good time to disconnect. So that's my meeting lecture. I don't know, Jillian, you probably same situation.
Well, exactly the same. I just say ditto, ditto, ditto. I'm not going to repeat what you said because it's fantastic. It's the truth, right? Because we've all been there. The only one thing I would add on there is let your director know who you're bringing to the event. Give her the phone number of the person who's coming so that she can call her and welcome her, you know, and thank her for coming. You will never not have a guest show if you give your director the name and phone number of the guest that's coming,
Right.
because that's one of the immediate contacts that your potential new consultant will have is with your director. And it's all about building that relationship. So once she hears her voice on the phone, whether she gets her or not, leaves a voicemail, the minute she sees her at an event, she'll already have been warmed up to her and she won't be like this at the meeting, sitting
Right.
back going, oh, I'm not so sure about this
Right.
woman who's all sparkly, you know?
And you guys invite people to the virtual meeting. I mean, I hold a meeting virtually because I have people everywhere, but if you have people on virtually, that's fine. Invite guests to the meeting, but don't be late, be on time, show your face. If you're really wanting to make money and move forward, you need to do that. It commands that, okay? Number 10, and then we'll go real quickly through them. We'll give out drawings, we're good. Okay, be out the door with face-to-face appointments, super important. Building relationships, travel to get the job done. Travel to get the job done. I developed all of my 4 new directors in the last year. I think it's last 14 months. I developed 4 brand new first-line directors by traveling, spending time with them, connecting with them, sharing skills with them, putting miles on my car, jumped airplanes, good old American Airlines, stayed in hotels because all their airlines keep canceling, stayed in hotels with no clothes. I have done it all in the last year and a half. Build those relationships. And for those of you on the 10,000 call today, the directors, you know, it's what Patricia Turca does. She goes around and builds those relationships. Use the virtual world as an additional platform to help you. What I have found with the virtual world with my area and all of you that are pretty much on there is help your new consultants be able to see how to sell the product. I think the great thing about virtual, even if you guys don't have a lot of guests on, or if you do, that's great. Some of my people have sold $700, $800, $900 in an evening by inviting people. But more than anything, your new team members are going to get education on how to talk about product, how to share the product. They're going to see that on the Thursday sharing events. They're going to hear about the opportunity. They educate you. You do not have to be on. Let me just tell you one story, and we'll finish with this too. I had a consultant who said, Janice, I can't be on next week. So I didn't tell my team. I said, oh, is your team going with you? She said, oh, no, it's just me and my husband. It's our anniversary. And I'm thinking, okay. So I said, I'm going to challenge you, invite 5 people, even though you can't be on. It was a brow event, not this one, but the one before that one. And she invited 5 people to the brow event that we did with the company. And at the end of her dinner, she got 6 different text messages and sold over $900 worth of product while she wasn't there. I find it interesting that people say, well, I can't be on. Well, your guests can be on. And if you guys had to scroll through right now, 605 people, you wouldn't be able to find your friends. You see that picture? 605 people are tonight. Oh my gosh. So, you know, make sure that you invite people to all the events that we're doing, because if nothing happens, somebody will do something. Okay. All right. This was number 10. So, you know, invite people to do that. Let God know your goal. Ask for guidance, discernment, the right people in your path and energy. And let's all be out the starting gate. So I'm going to review really quickly. Number 1, fear. We covered fear and dreams. Number 2, your workspace. Super important. And by the way, yes, this will be recorded and you will be able to get the recording when I can figure out how to do another recording today. Okay, so 2, it's been a day. 3, your goal. What is your goal? You need to decide that really soon. 4, we're at 11 playing field. Stay off the crazy Facebook pages, okay? Stay off the drama. 5, know your strengths and weaknesses. I can tell you, I really want you to concentrate on that right away, okay? 6, What are the goals that the company's provided for you this year? And what do you need to do to complete those? 7, break down your goals and connect with your director 7 and 8, at least 3 times a week, okay? She is the voice of reason, whether you believe it or not, okay? Number 9, meetings. Never miss them. Don't do laundry. Don't be eating. Look cute. Smile. Be in a red jacket. Be out the door, face-to-face appointments. Okay, Jillian, what things would you like to close with before we do our drawings tonight?
Well, I think you've just done such a beautiful job. I just want to close with something that I have really loved all these years, and it's magic carpet, because everybody here has a magic carpet that they can ride. How many of you like Aladdin? So I think it was Charles Steinman that taught me this. You have a magic carpet that will take you anywhere, to Spain, to Maine, to Africa, even to Ireland or away from Ireland. It can take you anywhere. So will you let it take you where you've never been before, or will you buy some drapes to match and use it for your floor? The choice is yours.
All right, so tonight, I wasn't going to do this, but I see a lot of you in there, and I don't know who is our Melanie. By the way, Melanie's on tonight, and Melanie, I just want to say congratulations. Greatest month ever in June. Just earned a Diamond B. Super proud of you for that. Oh my gosh, what an epic year. I want you to know that Melanie, I'm just going to throw you under the bus here real quickly, Smalley, but Melanie was contemplating, do I go to leadership? Do I not? And I saw you pivot, turn, and do so much these last 6 months. And Melanie, I'm super proud of you for all of you done. So I do want to share that.